You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right. Hello, Night Nation. This is Andrew Phegley. Hello, Orlando as well. This is Knightline at Night. We're live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law. Assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your New Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep, call me, Andrew Phegley, at 386-736-3000, and I will hook you up. We're taking your calls, 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature on the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley at AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout with me here, and he is at Big Social 32 on Twitter. Roger has the evening off, and you can find all the rest of our content on NightlineSports.com. Big win this weekend.
Rivalry game.
It's a rivalry game against the Cows, South Florida. 17-13, whatever. I don't care what the score was. I don't care how the team played, honestly. As long as we won that game and we are now ahead in the series.
That was huge.
That's big. There's bigger news, though.
There is.
And this is going to be interesting, actually. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback for UCF, has entered into the transfer portal. Not unexpected at all, I don't think.
Not terribly disappointing, but not terribly unexpected, I wouldn't think. Yeah, I wasn't completely caught off guard. Maybe by the timing of it, but
yeah.
Completely caught off guard. That it happened.
I guess my opinion to start off is next man up. It is what it is. We have Mikey Keene, who's a great quarterback. I think he's going to be great. I don't know if he is great. I shouldn't have said great.
Yeah.
He did a good job, though, through especially growing, through what he did. They won 5 of the 6 of the last games.
Yeah.
That's a big...
No interceptions. I think he took care of the ball.
He took care of the ball for the last 4 or so. Yes. I mean, 5 of 6 in the end of the season. He started 8 games, I think, altogether. That's a big deal. So I'm more than happy with that. I'm sure we will pick somebody up in the transfer portal or whatever, but, good luck, I guess, to Dylan Gabriel, but, I don't know. I know that we all have, more than that to say about that situation. I'll let you go. Go ahead and maybe say what you want to say.
I'll try to be as controlled about this as possible, because it is an emotional thing, right? I mean, we understand that this time in college athletics, college football is certainly on the front line of this, college basketball as well, but this time in college athletics with the transfer portal is like free agency.
It is.
And then you add on top of that, you add name, image, and likeness that was passed across the board this year, which is completely wild, wild west at this time. There's very little, if any, regulation on it whatsoever. And so when you have those two things come across together at the same time, to expect fans to completely change the way we've always talked about college athletes and looked at college athletes and their decisions, especially about going to another team and all that, to expect fans to make adjustments on the fly like that is a little bit high expectations, in my opinion. So in this case, it certainly tested, the last 24 hours have tested our fans' ability to take these types of decisions. And some fans took it too far. I will say, though, that since July 1st, name, image, and likeness came out, And since Dillon Gabriel walked up to the podium and talked about how he was excited about name, image, and likeness, but it was all about his teammates. It was all about UCF. It was all about the way he was going to approach this season from a team aspect. I believed him at the time, but his actions and his perception of his actions since then have not lined up with what he stated on July 1st. And so yesterday, when he decided to transfer or announce his transferring, I didn't like the timing of it. I mean, the weekend wasn't even over yet. We just beat our biggest rival. And it really takes you off guard, and it starts, at least for me, to like look back at his social media over the last few months and say, hey, did he ever
one post about UCF?
Yeah,
not one post.
Yeah.
All about Dillon Gabriel and his crap that he was selling.
Exactly.
I mean, his stuff is not good looking. I mean, it looks like it was designed by a third grader. So, I mean, whatever. But I'm not buying any of it. I was never buying any of it. Anyway, I feel sorry for the people that did.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to go be a fan of his in whatever team that he goes to. But I know a lot of people, Chad Barr being one of them, was saying, can I get a refund on the stuff that I bought for you? So,
it's just the
from you
exactly. I just when players are able to, which we support to a point, like when they're able to make some money off of their name that they haven't before, then they also need to be able to take everything that comes along with that. That's the good of that, with the money, of course, and the notoriety, and be able to make some money off your name. And the I guess for them, the bad part of it is that they should be treated a little bit more like professionals.
And I think that they should.
Exactly.
Because if they're going to be making decisions like this that are not based on the love of your school, which college football used to be based on.
Right.
That was all that mattered. That was all that it was about, the love of your school. Yes, you're getting an education, blah, blah, blah. But now it's about, can I go to the SEC and make more money?
Yeah.
Can I go to a bigger team that has, more fans and larger fan base that's seen on, ABC more often instead of ESPN and make more money? That's what it's all about.
Yeah. From a fan perspective, even in this era, we still want to be able to, especially from your quarterback, the leader of your football
captain
team,
of your team as well,
captain of your team, which is therefore we all talk about football drives the ship, right? So they're the head of your athletic department from an athlete standpoint, and we want that quarterback to be at least the perception that he's all about the team and he's in it to drive the team success first over personal success. And unfortunately, over the last 6 months, Dillon hasn't really shown that. And if you really want to get nitpicky and look back, maybe he hasn't really ever shown that. And that's the unfortunate part about it. And the last thing I'll say, I think one of the main reasons why, and I just want to be really clear about this for the listeners from my own perspective, is that one of the reasons why we're really upset is because Dillon Gabriel is a great quarterback.
Absolutely.
He has the arm talent that is out of this world, especially with his deep ball touch.
Right.
And so one of the other reasons why we're upset is because I'm not going to sit here and knock his ability as a quarterback. He is a great quarterback.
Yeah, me either.
But it's another reason why we're upset about his personal and mental approach to the game as far as his teammates are concerned. I didn't quite see that over the last however many months.
Right. Well, one of the big things that people were pointing out, and it became more and more obvious if you watched the sideline and watched how he interacted with his own teammates. Remember when Mackenzie Milton was hurt and had to, basically coach Dillon Gabriel and what the heck's his name?
DJ Mack. Daryl Mack. Yeah.
I don't remember him either. So Mackenzie did that from his hospital bed at one point, coaching DJ Mack, before he even knew if he was losing his leg or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't see Dillon Gabriel doing something like that. Dillon Gabriel on the sideline wasn't even interacting with Mikey Keene very much.
At all. I'll be honest, I wasn't totally paying attention, but you certainly never saw any pictures or shots of that actually happening, right?
Yeah.
Like him breaking down plays
in the beginning. You saw it a couple of times, but not very much in the last few weeks. So there's a lot of stuff coming out from insiders and things that we're reading and hearing, that are not, and of course there's going to be a little bit of, people being upset about this. So there's probably going to be some things that aren't true that are coming out and being said, but there's a lot of things that I know for a fact that are true that are being said. And I think some of the teammates as well saw these things, the writing on the wall and everything else. So it's a big deal for UCF. This is a big deal. It is what it is, though, with the current era of college football. We need to get used to this. And I was saying this for years before when it was just being talked about what NIL and the transfer portal and everything would do to college football. This is it. This is it. You're seeing it on our team. You're seeing it. This is it. And it's unfortunate that this is going to happen, but it's going to continue happening. Get used to it. This is what college football is. For me, it's honestly a little bit ruined. They ruined college football by letting these things happen, by letting, I played college football. I was telling somebody this the other day, never one time in my college football career, man, I wish I could make some money off of this. Off of my name, image, and likeness. I never once said that. To me, it was about playing for my school and being the best player that I could be. And that was it. That's all I had to worry about. I never thought about transferring. It was available then. You could transfer then. You've always been able to transfer. Yeah. It's just, in the last few years, it's become public, and it's the thing to do now.
Yeah, the transfer portal has basically made it easier because you just make the players more accessible through the internet, through the portal. Yeah.
And I played for my school though, because I loved my school.
Right.
That was where I wanted to play. That I never even thought anything different about. I didn't care who the coach was or the scheme was, whatever. I just wanted to play football,
Yeah, and I think in this new era, like we said, we need to get used to this kind of free agency, and the fans need to get used to it. But I think also the players need to get used to being treated differently than the players have been treated in the past. And you know what? Other fans need to – I think we need to there's been a lot of criticism of ways certain UCF fans have handled this situation over the last 24 hours. And I think some of those fans that are criticizing other parts of the fan base need to take a step back as well.
Right.
And certainly you don't want people crossing the line and making threats or
saying
exactly.
There's no reason to do that.
Out of the way. But certainly we need to get over it. We need to understand that this is an emotional thing, and players need to be treated differently now that they're being treated differently legally.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was the first segment. We'll be back after this. We're going to talk a lot more about this. So call us, 844-580-9326.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chadbar Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chadbar Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw. Got Big Ben Stout here with me, talking UCF in general more than anything else. But I did want to say Lincoln Riley is leaving Oklahoma for USC, which is kind of a interesting thing. The coaching carousel of college football has started, obviously, and that's a big one. Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma for USC again, and that's a little crazy, personally.
I gotta say, with Florida job open, that huge news that you just broke, it is kind of nice to have a veteran coach that doesn't seem to want to go anywhere at the helm at UCF. It's something we haven't experienced over the last 5 years.
That is awesome. So, and I don't think that even with the jobs that are open, Gus Malzahn is not going anywhere. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I love the guy. I really do. I like Coach Malzahn. And I think he did a great job this year with, everything, especially behind the scenes that's coming out now with Dylan. Maybe it might have been a little difficult through that situation. Here's what he's had to say on the 17-13 win over USF the other day.
First of all, I'm just so proud of our team. 8th win. Nothing's been easy this year. And a lot of times, I told them in the locker room, it's how you win. The hard fight, it challenges you deep down in, whether you're a coach or a player. And they responded. Give South Florida credit. They came in here, and I knew it wouldn't matter about the records. They played really good on defense. Their quarterback, he's a handful. And our guys made a play at the end to win the game. 7-0 at home. Real proud of that. Our home field advantage is one of the best in the country. There's no doubt about that. Proud of our seniors. The seniors that were able to get them a victory on their last home game here against a rival, especially the way it went down. Offensively, didn't play our best, but they had a lot to do with it. They really challenged us. They kind of confused us with some of the looks right there on 3rd down. Probably the big play of the game was the smoke draw right there where Johnny, even though we didn't score, he switched the field down there, and I thought that was big. And then defensively, I thought one of the plays of the game was, when Travis went 0 blitz, and William Wells, which he hadn't played a whole lot of defense all year. It was next man up. Quadric Bullard goes down, and he stepped up in his moment, and that was a big sack right there. So real proud of our team. 8 wins with everything that we went through. Real proud of our team. We're building the foundation. We're building the foundation of something really, really special, and we're going to go to a bowl game and try to get our 9th.
Okay. One of the things that I love about Coach Malzahn is he does not sugarcoat things.
No.
There's nothing in there that was sugarcoated. He'll say when the team sucked that they sucked. He'll also say when they did a good job, they did a good job. I love the fact that he keeps reminding us, and he does need to remind the fans and the fan base that we're building something for the future. I do think it was a miraculous job by him, though, coaching this team up with all the injuries, all the adversity that they went through all year long to end 8-4. It could have been so much worse than that. It could have been 4-8, to be honest with you.
Yeah, with all these injuries, and not only the injury to coach too. Like, you couldn't even be on the sideline actually in those critical moments of these games. I agree with you, but also the 7-0 at home is pretty awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, that's great.
It's huge.
That, being able to not to be undefeated in front of your home fan base is a big deal. And I agree with you. I think he's done a great job. He's done a great job providing the foundation for what we're going to build upon here in the Malzahn era here at UCF. So.
Yeah, and it's just getting started. I mean, imagine if we had a healthy team, what it would have been. You can imagine all kinds of things with the way, this year could have turned out. But just being 8-4, it's not what we expected. It's not what we wanted, but I'm happy with that. I'm, ready to, do this bowl game. Might be a good bowl against a decent opponent. May not. Who knows? There's rumors out there. It could be Florida. So that could be interesting. All right, we're going to take another break. We'll be back on Knightline at Night talking about UCF.
If you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tijuana Flats.
Flats. I would love them even if they weren't a partner with us on the Knightline Sports Network. They have all kinds of great Tex-Mex food, and it's fresh, by the way. Made to order burritos, tacos, enchiladas, chimichangas, quesadillas, bowls, nachos, and taco salads. And if you haven't tried the queso, you are completely missing out. It is the best queso that I've ever had in my life. Absolutely hands down. And the sauce bar that they have, everything from wild to mild in there. Absolutely awesome, awesome stuff. Not only do I love the food at Tijuana Flats, but I love the company, a UCF-born company. And they give back to the community with the Justin Queso Foundation. So head to your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, welcome back to Nightline at Night. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new car, new or used car, truck, or Jeep, you can call me, Andrew Phegley, 386-736-3000, and I'll get you taken care of. We're taking your calls, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature on the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, AP_Nightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout with me here at Big Social 32 on Twitter, and you can find all the rest of our content on nightlinesports.com. Talking UCF. Obviously, UCF football, but we basketball as well. We probably need to talk about just a little bit here. We talked, we didn't say much about the game. We won the football game. We won, obviously, against South Florida the other day, but that's not the huge football news. The biggest news of the day or weekend is that Dylan Gabriel is going into the transfer portal. We talked a little bit about that in the opening segment, but I want to talk about basketball because basketball is in season. Obviously, We're playing away, and they had a kind of a disappointing loss the other day, 65-62 Oklahoma Sooners on Saturday as well. And you were there. Obviously, you're big into basketball, much more than the rest of us are on the show. Anyway, the rest of us. Than me, I guess I should say. It's only me and you today.
Roger was also there, to give him credit.
So he was there at the basketball game?
Yeah,
okay.
I got to see Roger, yeah.
Good.
But yeah, it was a good game. So that was the first time I was able to see this version of Johnny Dawkins' Knights team in person this year. And I got to tell you, they look very impressive despite the loss. And Oklahoma's no slouch. That brought them to 6-1 on the season. We had a chance to go 5-0 in the first time in the Dawkins era at UCF. Unfortunately, we fell short. But I will say, from watching the team in person for the first time this season, their defense is something to see. The way that we play team defense with the athletes that we have is, just as a basketball junkie, as you know I am.
Right.
It's just really incredible to watch. The only time Oklahoma was able to break it down a little bit in spurts in the second half, but in the first half, the only reason why Oklahoma was getting any points is in transition when we would turn the ball over, because I'll give them credit, Oklahoma plays great team defense as well, and they showed it yesterday. But this team just, despite the loss, it gave me so much optimism watching them in person. We've got athletes, we've got shooters. If we can just get a little bit more flow to our offensive game, and I think we're going to be able to get that as the season goes on, and kind of and make a little bit, a little bit higher percentage from the outside. I just think that the sky's the limit for this team. We have a chance to beat anyone. Let's put it that way.
Well, Oklahoma has won 6 games.
Right.
They're 6-1. So, it's not like they've been sitting around not playing.
Yeah, they're a good team.
This was their first road game, which was kind of interesting. They played the rest of their games at home. And it's just a 3-point loss. I mean, if a 3-point loss is in basketball isn't that big of a deal. Now, if you get hammered by, 20, that's much different. So, I don't feel that this is a huge letdown. It was a loss at home, which kind of sucks. But, besides that, it looked like our guys did very well. Darren Green Jr. was 17. Darius Perry was with 16. Freeman with 7. He's coming along.
He is. He's coming along. He had a few unfortunate moments in the game in the second half where it was kind of critical, where he had a couple turnovers. But overall, his game is great. It really fits Dawkins' system well. He's a athletic guy that can play really good defense, but he also can kind of, he's a good driver of the basketball, can kind of finish at the paint. He's a good player overall. So he's one that I was excited about coming in, and he's proved it so far. Tymon Freeman. Did anything else stand out to you that looked very different than other teams, like speed or anything? We were talking, I know, watching them on TV, they looked a lot faster, like they were running up and down the court a lot, more, and just being a little bit of a different team. I think just as far as some of the differences from last year, I think it just the defense is at another level. I've already talked about the defense a lot. I understand that, but I think a couple of the key pieces that we've added, we'd already mentioned Freeman, but Bakke is a huge addition to this team. I think when he's on the floor, you kind of have this presence in the middle on the offensive end as well. He's able to kind of control things with his athleticism and his size. One thing that I'll say is a little bit, so far I'm still looking from this team, is it seems like Isaiah Adams is kind of still finding his way, which is surprising, because we were already expecting him to really take a step up. And I don't know if there's anything going on there with his injuries or anything I have no idea, but it does kind of seem like he's a little bit out of sync with the rest of the guys.
Only in there for 6 minutes, no points, a couple turnovers actually accredited to him. So. Yeah.
So that's a player that when he's out there, he seems a little bit different. Something's off going on there. Hopefully he cleans that up, because getting him playing at his full potential would be huge for this team, because that would be adding another piece on top of everything else.
Right.
Your guy, Tony Johnson, played well yesterday, though. He got some big minutes, and he played well for the most part in all of those.
Yeah, in there for 13 minutes as well. CJ Walker, obviously, in there for quite a while, and he's just interesting and fun to watch.
Yes,
for sure. So, all right, looking forward to the rest of the season quickly coming up for them. They've got some interesting games coming up, a schedule that's pretty good as far as UCF basketball goes. Next up is Auburn, number 19 Auburn on Wednesday.
At Auburn, too, so that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. And then we've got Florida State in there. We've got Michigan. We've got and then we, kind of get into the other stuff as well with the conference play, which our conference is good. Memphis right now is ranked number 9. So we were hoping that Michigan would be ranked a little higher when we play them. They're coming to UCF on December 30th.
I don't know what's on their schedule in between now and then, but they do have about 3 weeks. So who knows what they're going to be ranked, if they're going to be ranked even higher or maybe fall off the board.
They got some good ones. They have UNC. That's really the biggest one.
Yeah, so they're no slouch.
UNC is not what they used to be, though, either. So
if they're ranked at all, them coming into our place, it's the biggest home game of the year up until that point. Certainly the biggest out-of-conference home game that we'll have this year. So that'll be huge on December 30th. So hopefully we can be rolling going into that game.
Absolutely. We can talk a little bit more football while we're out at I'm not, and I think I said this earlier, I'm not disappointed with 8-4 with the way that things went. Gus Malzahn did talk about going 5-6 to end the season. Here's what he had to say about that.
It was hard. It's all our players. They just decided to do it. We went 5-1 and 3-3. I mean, it wasn't real good now. It wasn't a lot of fun then. And we were going through a transition of quarterbacks. We had KD. We lost him. Our best defensive player. But our guys fought, man. That's what I remember. I remember the 5-1, and it wasn't easy tonight, but we found a way to win. And 5-1 that last 6 games. Probably not very many teams around the country that can say that.
All right. So, yeah, absolutely. He had great things to say about Mikey Keene as well. Mikey Keene was a little banged up in the game the other day, came off at one point, holding his arm or his ribs or something. Here's what Gus Malzahn had to say on Mikey Keene, who I think has done a great job of fitting in, and it's hard to do. Here's what Coach Malzahn has to say.
I mean, just think, he's 18 years old. I know he got here about a month before I did, and I guarantee he wasn't thinking he's going to have to carry the mail for us. And not only he carried the mail, the guy's a lot of winter in him, man. He's tough. He's not very big. That guy is a tough dude. And just what you have to go through off the field mentally to play quarterback in Division I, that's hard. Then you throw in the physical. I mean, you saw him. He got banged up, and he wasn't 100% coming to the game. He hadn't been 100% probably in the last 3 weeks. But he's not complaining. Nobody knows. He's tough as crap, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
Another reason that I love Gus. Absolutely. Right there. Number one, he's an older guy and he's from Texas, just has has that aura about him as like a football coach. I love carried the mail. He had to carry the mail for us. I love it. I love stuff like that. So
he's got not only a football coach, but he's got that high school football coach comes out in him a lot when he's at the podium, and I'm sure with the guys in practice or in the games.
One more clip from him. Here's what he had to say about going to a bowl, possibly playing Florida, which was kind of brought up in this.
Hey, man, like I said when I first got hired, man, we'll play anybody. I mean, it's a bowl. It's a chance to win 9 games. I mean, we're very excited to go bowling wherever we are, whoever we're playing. I mean, we're going to be extremely excited.
All right. Well, just to get to a bowl game with a season like this is something to say. I'm 100% good with what went on this year. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, walking out of that stadium on Friday night, my wife just randomly asked me, like, what was that? What does that bring our record to again? Like, she couldn't recall it at the time, and I was like 8-4, and I was like, I stopped myself. I was like 8-4. Like, that's not, like, given everything that happened this season, all the injuries, to such key positions, that, I mean, it's great the way the team rallied. It's great the way the coaching staff rallied. And I can't say enough about the way Gus has done. And Travis Williams has just done an excellent job with this defense, and it showed again on Friday night.
So as banged up as we were, losing our starting quarterback, losing our starting running back, losing our starting, our number one wide receiver, losing our defensive end, our defensive tackle, our best defensive player, losing a couple of the other best defensive players, losing our
best linebacker,
our best running back, all these things, and wind up third in the American.
Yeah.
The American is not an easy conference for football. You can see, Cincinnati and Houston this year, they're the ones that are, capitalizing on the season. 8-0 in conference play for both of them until they meet in the conference championship coming up soon. Cincinnati ranked number 4, Houston ranked number 24. Cincinnati's going to be in the playoffs. I think they're going to be in that playoff invitational thing.
I think that it's a good thing, as you discussed, or that you talked about, that Houston's having such a great year. They're a good team, very good team. Houston is. So it's not going to be easy for Cincinnati to beat them, but it's great that Cincinnati gets to play. And then if they do beat them at the very end of that season in the championship game, that's a good opponent for them. So hopefully it's just one more push with that undefeated record to get into the playoff, and they certainly deserve it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that will be great for the group of 5 in general, and obviously the American.
We'll take that check.
We'll take the check, exactly. We'll take the money that they have to split with the rest of us, and we'll use it to its fullest extent. We have no problem with that, and congratulations to Cincinnati. I mean, they played a great season. I mean, UCF has done it before. Now Cincinnati gets to do it. Maybe take it to the next step. All right. We'll be back on Knightline tonight.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Welcome. This is a promo for the Take a Left at Albuquerque podcast, new to the Knightline Sports Network. You should listen to it. I say things like this. We need to stop blaming Jerry because we would do the exact same thing if we owned the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Do you know how much fun it is to own the Dallas Cowboys? My guests will say things sometimes like this.
It's the Lord of the Flies thing that happens when they don't understand that things are wrong, spoiler alert, until Piggy dies.
Lord of the Flies has been out for like 100 years. I don't even know.
Sorry to everyone at home who I spoiled the book for. A book's been out for like 90 years or something.
And sometimes, rarely though, I'll say really stupid things like this. If they don't make it out of the West and the Raptors get to the finals, I will go on either this show or whoever's show and say that Kawhi Leonard is overrated because I have too much evidence of it. New episodes drop every Friday with me and some of my good friends right here on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night with you. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law. On the Knightline Sports Network, which you can find on any podcast, player, anything that you find podcasts on, or you can find it at nightlinesports.com. Also has a show called the AAC Report that Jeff Allen does for us. Here is his weekly scoreboard from the AAC.
Time now to check out the rest of the scores around the American. Number 4 Cincinnati capped off a perfect regular season, downing East Carolina 35-13. Their AAC championship game opponent Houston rolled to an out-of-conference 45-17 romp over UConn. Memphis becomes bowl eligible with a 33-28 victory over Tulane. Tulsa also bowl eligible as they beat SMU 34-31. The Mustangs will have a new coach as Sonny Dykes leaves for the TCU job. Former offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley returns for the same role at Miami to take over for Dykes. And Navy closes out the regular season with a 38-14 win over Temple. The Owls lose 7 in a row to finish. Navy has one more game left, their annual clash with Army on December 11th. I'm Jeff Allen. We'll review the week that was and preview the AAC championship battle between Houston and Cincinnati with Sam and Dustin from the Scott and Holman podcast on this week's AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
All right, next up, the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. We usually do score predictions in this during the regular season for football, but now we're going back to hot takes, so this could be interesting. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. All right, incredible fresh Tex-Mex food, by the way, at Tijuana Flats. Get there if you haven't been there for a while. If you're tired of eating Thanksgiving leftovers this week, it's time for some Tijuana Flats. So we're going to go back to doing just a regular hot take, and I'm going to start it off this week. My hot take is going to be, and this is very general. Yes, I'm being very general in my hot take, but I think that UCF football will get a quarterback in the transfer portal because Gus has been really, really good with the transfer portal. We're going to get a name that is a little bit unexpected, but he will give Mikey Keene and the rest of the quarterbacks a run for their money in the spring. And I'm not sure who's going to come out on top because I'm not sure the name yet, but there will be someone pulled through the transfer portal and, a quarterback that we might all be surprised about.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to go on the predictable basketball front for my hot take. We have one conference game in the month of December. Everything else is out of conference until we truly get into the in-conference play January 2nd against SMU. My hot take is that we will be ranked in the top 25 going into conference play this year. Our first conference game, January 2nd. We have enough great opponents in front of us, and I believe in this team. I'm optimistic with what I've seen so far that we'll pull off some big victories in the month of December to get us ranked going into the month of January. And I hope to God now I'm right on that one.
No, that would be awesome. I think that's exactly what we need to do. That's what the basketball program needs to do. Yeah. Reminder, everyone, a couple of years from now, we're going to be in the Big 12, and that's a heck of a basketball conference, heck of a football conference this year too. Going to get a little bit different there, but all these things that we're talking about, all of it, and leading up to, joining the Big 12 in a couple of years. So it's going to be exciting. It may be the off season for football and part of the year that I absolutely hate, but our basketball team is looking good, except for the one stumble against Oklahoma. But the rest of it looks like, things are going to go very well. So
with all the starts and stops that happened last year, like the quality of basketball overall in college basketball is much higher this season because those teams are staying together, and UCF is no different. So UCF fans have a lot to be excited about over the next few months.
Yeah, and we'll talk a lot of basketball on here, no just because you'll be here with us, and you are definitely a basketball guy. Football as well, but definitely basketball. Okay, I don't know what else to really talk. Do you have anything else? We talked about the DG thing earlier, and I don't want to say much more about it.
Yeah, I don't want to say any more about that either. I just want to say, signing day is coming up in a few weeks, the first signing day, so we'll certainly be talking a lot about that in this show. And also, volleyball won their 4th straight American Conference championship, so there'll be ones that we'll keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks as they kind of go to the national tournament and hopefully do well there.
Okay, we got to go. This has been Knightline at Night. Thank you all very much for listening. I'm Andrew Phegley. Go Knights!
Charge on.